Alrighty, let's do this. Here are my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on Mercurial World by Magdalena Bay. You know, I would say that indie dance pop or dance rock is a pretty saturated genre and has been for quite a while. But, you know, even some bands that we would call staples of the genre haven't really put out an album as solid as Mercurial World, and that is no small accomplishment. For a band that embraces ironic kitschiness as much as Magdalena Bay does, or, you know, for a band that doesn't take themselves too seriously, their music is very tightly composed, and this album is really solid. So Mercurial World doesn't feel terribly original, but that's not a bad thing at all. And at its core, this is a dance rock or indie pop album with influences from genres that have been highly popularized on the internet, like vaporwave or future funk or city pop too, why not? But I will say that Magdalena Bay does an excellent job of taking the best and most attractive aspects of their influences and making it their own. They succeed in sorting through a plethora of influences to make something very cohesive and enjoyable. I think they took a monster-sized bite with this album, and they successfully do manage to chew it all down. I think the overall existential or philosophical vibe of the album is really cool. It's kind of got this cosmic theme to it. I like how the album kind of starts on this monologue about life and death and how they're essentially interchangeable concepts and how the beginning and the end are kind of the same thing. And, you know, there's a lot of really nice kind of corny but very appropriate, you know, monologues throughout the album like that. And I think it really works. I think that they do a good job of having that consistent vibe and theme throughout the album. My favorite thing about this album is just the overall presentation of it. It's just so well done. It feels like you're watching a well-edited movie, and the pacing is very nice. There is a great sense of rising and falling action, and it really does do a good job of keeping me engaged from front to back. Just great setups and payoffs. You know, a song that might seem a little incomplete on its own really does work very well in the greater context of the album. One of my favorite high points of the album is when you get to that chorus in Hysterical Us. It's just such a nice moment, and it's a little bit past the album's halfway point, and I always kind of sit back and think to myself of everything that came before it on the album, and I'm just like, man, there is really something here. Like, this is really great. And, you know, to continue with that, I think Hysterical Us is easily my favorite song on the album. It is just such a banger, such an infectious hook in the chorus. And, you know, I think it's only enhanced by the way that it's placed on the album. So there are some phenomenally well-timed transitions here. The transition from Dawning of the Season to Secrets. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That transition from Something for Two to Cherry, just so seamless, so smooth, just feels so right. And, you know, now we're gonna get a little nitpicky, but I would say that something to me still feels a little empty about this album. And, you know, I think that it stems from vocalist Mika Tenenbaum's performances. You know, I think they totally work for what they're going for stylistically, but I would say that, you know, that also kind of blocks us, the audience, from really getting to know her or relate to her. For most of the album, she's kind of stuck in this one zone, and, you know, it's not a bad zone to be in at all. In fact, it's a great zone. But I think the moments that are meant to be emotionally striking or sentimental don't quite land with me because I just don't get that sense of vulnerability from her vocals. And I think that this could be Magdalena Bay's kitschiness working against them a little bit. You know, when artists try to be very stylized, it sometimes means playing a character, which, again, she plays very well, but I would have liked to hear her break from that character every now and then so that we can have something to relate to on an emotional level. But you know, whatever. This is a good album. It's so much fun to listen to again and again. I think it's awesome. It is a damn impressive debut. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on Mercurial World by Magdalena Bay. Magdalena Bay. Magdalena Lena. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.